What is up, everybody? In this video, I got a high taper with some long curly hair on top, and this type of haircut took me a real long time to learn, so I'm super excited to share with everybody today. Let's get right into it. So when I cut this texture of hair, I always like to start it off by picking it out. And your goal when you're picking the curly hair out like this is you want to get all the hair to stand up straight so that when you freehand cut it with your clippers, you're cutting it all the same length. Now this guy didn't really want too much length taken off, but I still wanted to pick it out so that when so that I could tell if it was all the same length. So my first step with the taper is I'm taking my 1.5 detachable blade and I'm going straight up off the head. I got it right up to about where his corners are, and then I'm going off the head. And then my next step is I'm taking a 4-0 blade with my detachable and I'm going right where the ear meets the head to the corner of his C-cup. That's what a high taper is, no C-cup. So then I'm going right in with my foil shaver. I use the Braun Series 9. I love it because it never irritates my clients. Next, going in with my skeletons. I'm setting the line in right there. I'm gonna go back and touch it up later, but I'm setting the line in so that it'll help me see my blend a little better. So then what I'm going in next, as you guys can see, I'm using my clipper open. These are the Wall Magic clips. Clipper open, but I'm not making a straight line. I'm kind of going like a curved little line because I want it as dark as possible around his ear and as dark as possible in the line right here, his vertical bars. And then from there, I fade down, so I use my clipper like halfway open. Then I'll go all the way closed and just go right up to that line. And then if there's still a little bit of a line, I'll open my clipper just a little bit, like a quarter of the way, and then I'll try to knock that line out. And then from there, from that line, all I gotta do is use my half guard. So I'll fade from the clipper open to my 1.5 detachable, and I'll fade up. You guys will see me do it. I'll start off closed, I'll go up a little bit, I'll open it up a little bit, and then I'll open it all the way, and that'll pretty much take the line out. And right here, I'm just kind of doing some detailing. I love on tapers, because there's such a tight room to fade, I love just using this. I'll go in with a fine part of my comb and I'll just clipper over comb. I can really target the hairs that I want to get, all the dark spots that I'm seeing. And I can just go in with the corner of my blade with that comb and just knock out all the dark spots. And then you'll see me just further, you'll see me do this a couple times in the video, guys. Just freehand, just trying to make that shape exactly how I want it, making sure that taper blends in nicely with the rest of his hair. Just a little bit more clipper over comb. Once again, just trying to blend it in. Now I'm blending the beard in. He didn't want any length off the beard. This guy has a job where he can't really grow his facial hair out that much. So when he gets the opportunity, he likes to just let it go. So I'm just kind of blending it in. I think the highest guard I'll use is the half guard. Again, it'll just be open, and I kind of just, you know, blend into it. So we got the same thing going on this side, 1.5. You guys can see it a little better on this side, just freehanding that, just kind of shaping it how I want. I'm kind of going for like a triangular shape, kind of just going out a little bit. Then we got, you know, same 4-0 straight up. You can see where I'm going, ear meeting the head to the C cup. And a clipper open. I'm really don't move when you're doing a taper, especially a high taper like this. You got to move in small sections, so you got to know where you're going. So I'll use a lot of the corner of my blade because you can see If I use the whole blade, that's kind of taking up the whole space. So then you, once again, putting the line in kind of helps you, it helps you color in the lines. It helps you see more of the fade, if that makes sense. If you guys have never tried it, I would recommend doing it. My instructor in barber school told me about this technique, and I thought he was crazy. I'm like, why would I not just, you know, save the line up for last? But yeah, I mean, it really does work. Just, you know, just some more fade work with the beard. I think sometimes like fading in a beard, just because it's like upside down, sometimes it intimidates people. And guys, you just gotta go, when you're fading the beard, you just gotta use the same exact steps. You know, use clipper open, halfway close, quarter the way close, all the way close. You know, then just go from there. Don't let fading in the beard intimidate you. It's the same exact steps. It's just upside down. And then freehand on this type of hair texture, I use a ton of freehand. I mean, you kind of have to. You can't really get away from it. But that's another thing that's intimidating. Don't let that, you know, get in the way. Just try it. Get an afro hair mannequin and try freehand on that. I got an apprentice barber at my shop right now who's doing that. He literally just bought an afro hair mannequin, and I told him, just take a 1/2 inch at a time all the way around. Make a afro, make a perfectly round afro. Then take it an inch shorter, make another afro, do a flat top. Because that freehand clipper technique can definitely get intimidating, but it shouldn't be, guys. You could definitely do it. I believe in you. So in the back, I'm kind of going right off of his occipital bone. I want to build off the shape of his head, the natural shape of his head. So I went up with my 1.5 up to his occipital bone. Then I kind of came off once again. We're trying to build that shape kind of going out. Because if I'm going to curl it at the end, and if I went straight up, it kind of would it'd look more like a flat top as opposed to, you know, that curl sponge type look that we're going for. So I'm doing the same steps in the back here. The biggest thing when you're tapering the back is you gotta make sure that you're cutting against the grain all the time. A lot of the corners in the back, because sometimes the hair is growing this way and that way. You just never know, you know, no one's hair on the back of their head grows perfectly straight down, which is something that I had no idea of when I first started. I didn't realize that, but yeah, you really gotta pay attention to that in the back of the hair. You know, constantly just like combing it down, trying to go against the grain, because that's how you're gonna get those blurry taper looks. You're not gonna get a blurry looking taper if you're just going up and down the whole time. That's in the back, especially, is where I like to use that fine tooth side of my comb and do some clipper over comb work, because it helps me pick up the hair no matter which way it's laying. I can just pick that right up with my comb and go right in with the corner of the blade, and it's perfect. Here it is right here, going in with my comb. I love the YS Park combs. That's what this comb is. This orange one is actually for the scissor brand Mizutani, and you can get it right on their website. Orange is just my favorite color, so that's why I had to get the orange YS Park combs. But yeah, I like the combs just because they got the tooth on the end that's easy for parting. The fine tooth side of their comb it's like perfect. Everything's just like the perfect width, and they're really sturdy combs. Not really much static or anything. I love them. Definitely worth the price. So once again, just some more freehand clipper work. just trying to put that shape in. And this is why picking out the hair is so important, because if you don't get all the hair coming straight up out of the head, then when you cut your shape in, it's gonna be uneven. So that's why I try to be as diligent as I can picking the hair out. And this particular client, he's really good at picking his hair out. I try to communicate that with all my clients, because there are some clients, man, I've spent 20-25 minutes picking their hair out, because you would have thought they didn't know what a pick was. I don't know if you guys have had any of those clients, but I definitely have. Little kids too, and then the little kids end up hating the barber because I'm hurting their head. So yeah, just try and communicate with your clients like, hey, before you come in to get a haircut, could you just try and pick your hair out so I don't have to spend as much time. They'll appreciate it because they'll get out of your chair faster. And now I'm freehanding the front hairline. I do this on any type of haircut with this texture of hair, just trying to get that overhang. You kind of want their hair to kind of go straight up from their forehead. I mean, I'll never have a straight hairline in my life, but I like to try, and give my clients some nice hairlines. So starting right here behind the ear, trying to leave as much as possible. I don't want to eat a ton of his hairline. Sometimes I see a problem with barbers, they eat too much of the hairline, and then that regrowth, a couple days from after their haircut, it looks bad. So then on the other side, just trying to make the angles the same. Like when it comes down in the back. Trying to pay attention to making the angle the same, because that's something that I struggle with a lot. I used to make like one side more like straight and the other side would go in like this. And that was, it's just something to pay attention to. And here's my clipper over comb technique again. I'll use it on the front hairline. Guys, the front hairlines, you just want to take care of all the overhang. This guy's hairline was something that would give me an issue. His hairline was tough. I've come a long way doing his hairline. I've pushed him back too far. Sometimes I haven't pushed him back enough. But with difficult hairlines, with hairlines that give you trouble, just go slow. Take a couple extra minutes, make sure it's straight. It's okay if you go over it a couple times. Start in the middle, work your way to the ends. I like to kind of start, I'll get right in front of my client. I'll look at them. I'll see if there's a high point in their hairline, and sometimes I'll start right there. And then I'll work my way to the middle, then work my way to the side, from the middle. Then I'll go back to the middle and work my way to the other side. And I'm always trying to ask my client to turn their head, and I'm trying to stand 90 degrees, like straight in front of where I'm putting my trimmers. Those are the best things that have helped me with a hairline. So now we're just putting a couple hair fibers on his hairline. This client really likes it. He this is something that I started including in my services, and I have not had any bad reviews on it. This client told me, he doesn't wash his hair every time he gets in the shower, and these, hair fibers end up, lasting him, a day or two. He definitely really appreciates that. And when I do the hair fibers, I like to spray. You guys saw, I like to spray hairspray, got to be glued, and then I'll use a diffuser on my hair dryer to lock them in there. So now we're under the beard, and I got them lean back. I like to do the beard when their head's back a little bit, just because I think it makes the client more comfortable. Sometimes I've been in barber chairs where they just had me to put my head back, and I feel like my head's falling asleep because they're doing it for 15 minutes. With his mustache, he didn't want me to trim his mustache. He just wanted me to take it up off the lip, so that's why his mustache isn't looking as clean as it could. I promise you guys, I don't usually leave people's mustaches like this. I'm just trying to take it right off the lip and just constantly combing that hair down, trying to make sure I get every single hair off the lip. And then I like to set my line in on the top of the beard right here with my trimmers. So I'll make sure, what I like to do is I'll set a reference point. So I'll be like, okay, put one corner at the corner of his mouth, and then the other corner will be on a line to this part of his ear. And then I'll set that reference point in, so that way I can do that on both sides and make sure that on both sides of the beard it's even and it's the same angle. And I'll count how many blade widths I do. So if I do 1 blade width, 2 blade widths, then I curve. I like to keep track of that on both sides. And then, I mean, I just do this on every single line that I put on someone's head. You know, I like to follow it up with the razor. I believe the razor just locks in those lines and makes them extra sharp. And with the hair fibers, you know, I think it just brings it to the next level. And when I'm using a straight razor, you guys can see I'm just pulling the skin and just using my razor at a 45-degree angle. So he was pretty happy, guys. He really liked it. This is some of the after shots. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, this was a haircut that gave me a lot of trouble in the past. So I was super thankful that I'm at a point where I can help you guys learn. So if you guys got anything you'd like to say, any comments, anything that can help me grow, like always, I'm here to help you learn so that we can all grow and that we can show other people. Hometown Cody, out.